Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
We are on location today at the Crockett Tavern on Morningside Drive. Our special guest is Christina Mosley. Thank you for being on here with us today.
Thank you.
So what can you tell us about Crockett Tavern? I know I have lived here my entire life, and I am not going to lie, this is the first time I have ever stepped foot in here.
Oh, well, you definitely need to stop by, for sure. Well, we have been open up now to the public for 65 years. We started construction and getting ideas for this back in 1955.
Oh, wow.
When we had our centennial, and the whole town went Crockett themed, Crockett crazy. And so after that, we had our dedication in 1956, and then the official opening in April 1958.
Okay.
So we are celebrating year 65 of operation.
All right. So I did go on your website last night and was doing a little snooping around. Looks like y'all have a special celebration going on in August. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. We have Davy's birthday celebration on Saturday, August the 12th. And it is a free event for our local community and others to stop by, celebrate Davy's birthday with us. We'll have the whole building and grounds open up for free to the public from 2 to 5 p.m. And we usually have several people dressed up, and I'll be here conducting tours or just fielding questions in general. And we have lots of good activities going on for all ages.
Awesome. So I know you said that event is free to the public. Does it cost to come here just
Yes.
on a daily?
Yeah, on our daily basis, and we are open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 11 to 5.
Okay.
And the general admission for the public, adults 65 and under are $5. If you are 65 and older, it's $4.50.
Okay.
If you are 18 and under,
I'm
it's
not.
I know, neither am I. Lord, I actually had somebody the other day said, "You just look a hair shy of 19." I was like, "God bless you." Yes. So 18 and under are $1, and children under 5 are free.
Awesome. So what are people going to find if they come to visit you at Crockett Tavern?
Well, we have a variety of artifacts that relate to the time period when Davy Crockett was here in this area. This was his boyhood home from age 10 to about age 20, off and on. And so we have items relating from the late 1800s to early 1900s here on site. And then we walk through and I talk about Davy's history in this area, and then point out the highlights of each room as we tour around. So that's pretty much what we do.
All right. And I think I saw on the website y'all have a gift shop.
Yes, we do. It's called Polly's Pavilion. It's our second grade building outside. And then we have a variety of different things, Crockett themed and local history here, including the lovely coonskin caps, which are a hot commodity.
I'm sure.
We've got some seniors, they love it. So that was their childhood memories, and they were like, "I can't believe you have it, so we got to have one of those." And then we have some Betsy rifles, too, which are also popular items. And then along with a variety of books and other souvenirs that we have.
Okay. All right, good deal. So how long does it take to tour the tavern?
Generally, it takes to go through everything right around an hour or so. Sometimes it's a little longer, depending on if I get a lot of interest and people stop and ask me some questions. So anybody coming here, if you want a full tour of the site, the last full tour that we can do is right around 4 o'clock. So if you get past that, then I'll have to condense it up just a little bit, but we'll still give you a good tour here on site.
Okay. All right. So when the birthday event is in August, where can people park?
Okay. Well, we have a few spots up front. We usually dedicate that for our handicap here. And then we do have a smaller parking lot, which is just right outside of our second grade building area. And then we have had people, it got so busy last year, they were parking up and down Morningside Drive and the surrounding streets, and then even across at the local advertising business there too. So wherever and however you can find a spot, as long as it's legal. That's all we care about.
All right, good deal. All right, so is there anything else that people might want to know about the Crockett Tavern?
Well, one of the things that we always point out too is the appreciation that we get from people in the community. because a lot of cases people never stop by or they pass by, and I can't say anything. I used to on my way to work, but just to stop by and appreciate the local history that we have, and especially all the hard work from people who have taken the time to donate items to us. It is really a step back in time when you come here, and just be prepared for that, and we appreciate anybody's visit here, because it really helps us out. So far this season, we have had visitors from 7 countries and 39 of the 50 states. So
Holy cow.
The farthest one we had out was somebody from Russia the other day.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I think she panned around, but I'm assuming that's is that checkers?
Yes, it is. Using the corn cob pieces. So as I tell them, I said, you use corn every which way, shape, form, fashion.
Exactly.
Even down to your outhouse is what we say.
Yeah.
And then I get some people joke too, that's the pre-Sears Roebuck catalog days too. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, if you've never been this, you got to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a step back in time.
Yeah.
It's going to remind you of like going into some of the woodwork shops up in Gatlinburg, Pigeon
Yes.
Forge area.
Yes, some of the cabins in
Yeah.
Kate's Cove. Too,
Yes,
similar to
Yeah,
that.
very
but,
rustic.
but right here in our back door.
Exactly.
Very affordable for a family to go to.
Exactly.
Yes,
It is
definitely.
definitely a local gym. That's for sure.
Definitely.
So you mentioned donations. Do you still take donations from people?
We do.
What kind of things do you look for?
We do mostly, we've had some people before that kind of invested with some items here. They have to go through our director, Sally Baker, and there's some information on our website about that. But we also take monetary donations throughout the year. We do have some fundraisers coming up, especially to have some repairs done for our roof here, and then some other things needed on site. So we would, any and every little thing helps us, keeps us here, keeps us open for the public. So we appreciate it.
All right.
Definitely.
So again, the Crockett Tavern is located on Morningside Drive. If you're like me, I have drove by it a million times, but have just never stopped to visit. So make sure you come by Tuesday through Saturday, you said, from
Yes.
11 to 5.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, August 12th is Davy Crockett's birthday celebration, so put that on your calendar now to come out and take advantage of the opportunity that we have here in Morristown to learn a little bit more about our history. Thank you so much for being on here with us.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
We were at the Crockett Tavern for our local business this week, and they had a family come in to do a tour, so we have come back to my office to do our actual market update for you this week. So Kim, I know rates have inched up, I believe.
Well, really funny. They went up last Thursday, Friday, and to 7 is sure a little bit more. And today they came back down in the upper 6s. So, just never know. Never
Oh
know.
wow,
I know.
really?
I really, yeah. I got an email this morning. Rates were going to be better today. So, it's like, who did I send numbers to last Thursday and Friday? So, let's resend them numbers.
Oh yeah, because that's not what I had
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, they were
Earlier,
down
so-
yesterday. They were 7s yesterday. They're back down a little bit today. So,
Awesome. So if you've been on the fence about buying a house, that's the thing right now. Mortgage rates are changing a lot more lately than they have in the past. Traditionally, you get a mortgage rate and you're going to be within 1/8 of a point for, 6 months or so. But right now, there's just so much flux with, are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? What are we doing to fight inflation? That the rates just continue to kind of do this little up and down thing. So, if you got quoted a rate, 2 or 3 weeks ago and you thought, yeah, that's just too high, I can't afford that. Make sure you check back in regularly or let your loan officer know that, if rates go down to this, I want to know about it so we can move forward. Because Kim will definitely be happy to keep you on a rate alert and let you know when the rates move back down.
definitely.
The thing about it is, if she tells you the rates are back down, you need to get a hold of your realtor and start looking quick, because 2 or 3 days away, they could be right back up again.
Could be better,
So
could be worse.
they can't lock in a rate until you're actually under contract on a property. So keep that in mind. But All right, so anything changed with THDA or?
No, they're still, we talked about that last week. They dropped to 5.875. And like I said, if you're a veteran or, if you're like a, emergency worker, EMT worker, those are 5.375. So that's a great rate. Another thing we've got coming next week is we're opening back up a bridge loan, which,
oh, awesome.
And basically what a bridge loan is just where if you've got a property to sell, but you want to buy first, it's an opportunity to let you go ahead and buy without selling that home, and get some money out of that one and use it. But yeah, we can give you more details on that. So.
Okay, good deal. Are rates going to be about the same on those, or are they going to be a little higher?
They're a little bit higher, but the payments are interest only.
Okay.
And they're like for a really short period of time. So.
Right. Okay.
So.
All right, so I went over the numbers for June last week. So what I did this week was to pull January 1st through June 30th of this year, and let's compare it to the first 6 months of 2022. So in Hamlin County, year to date, well, through the end of June, we have sold 334 homes, which is quite a few for a 6 month time period. The average sales price was $270, $137. The average time on the market was 65 days, and the average price per square foot was $156. The list to sell price ratio was 98.14%, meaning those houses sold for about 98% of the list price. And I've always been trying to give the average versus the median. So the median sales price was $260,000 for the first 6 months. Median price per square foot was $151. Median days on the market was 31. And the median list to sell price ratio is 99.67. So it kind of goes back to what I have been preaching all year. I think that if you prepare your home correctly and you price it correctly, you're not going to have to come down off of that list price a whole bunch in order to get your home sold. And it will sell fairly quickly. Now, if we look back at 2022 for the first 6 months of the year, there were 411 homes that sold. So we have seen a decrease in the number of home sales. And there's several reasons for that. Number one, interest rates obviously have changed dramatically since the first 6 months of 2022. And then the second thing is the amount of inventory that we have available for sale is down significantly. So, every month when I do these market reports, I tell y'all we're less than 1 month of inventory in Hamlin County. And that's what these numbers are for, is Hamlin County. So the average sales price in 2022 for the first 6 months was $274,621. The average days on the market was 52, and the average list to sell price ratio was 99.86. The median sales price was $250,000. The median time on the market was 31 days, and the median list to sell price ratio was 100%. So, looking at that, we are down in the number of sales, about 19% from 2022. But the median sales price has actually increased 4%. So the average sales price went down about $4,000, but our median sales price went up $10,000 year over year. Awesome. So that means that prices are still appreciating. We talk about how you get an average. It's basic math. You add all the numbers together, divided by the number that you have. That's how you get an average. But the median says, okay, this is the middle number, so to speak. So when that goes up, that tells you that home prices are still appreciating. So I thought that was a pretty good comparison that, we think that the market has changed dramatically, but it really hasn't. Like I said, interest rates being up contribute to the fewer sales, but the lack of inventory, I think, is another thing, because we had a lot more homes for sale in 2022 than it feels like we have right now. What are you seeing right now? Are you seeing an increase in mortgage applications? Is that going down? Or?
No, and usually summertime is our busier months. I mean, so no, it's not been, I don't think it's like it was last year, so, and again, I think it's the the interest rate thing that's got a lot of people scared. And you know, one thing we've talked about, you know, we always say, you know, marry the house, you know, we say marry the house, date the rate, and now we've added divorce the rent. So, you know, if you buy the house, find the house that you want, you know, it doesn't mean you got to pay a 6.5% rate for 30 years. You know, more than likely those rates will come down, and later on you might be able to refi to a shorter, long term, 15 years or something, you know, and get that. So yeah, it's still, and it's great to see that you know, I mean, a lot of people, I think prices are going to come down, and it's just not going to, I don't think it's going to happen. So.
Oh, I talk to people all the time who, you know, they're telling me, well, I want to sell now because the market's getting ready to crash. And I'm like, why do you think the market's going to crash? And, you know, I get it when you listen to the media. You know, gone are the days of like Walter Cronkite, who just reported what happened and then left it to you to make up your mind about what you thought about that news, whether it was right, wrong, good, or bad. Those days are over. And so now the media wants to tell you what's happened, but they also want to tell you what that means and what your spin on that should be and how that should affect your life, rather than letting you make those decisions for yourself. So if you listen to the media, you know, they're preaching doom and gloom in the real estate industry, that housing sales are down because the interest rates are up and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, if you go back to high school economics, the simple law of supply and demand, if you have a higher demand than you have the supply, the price is going to go up. It's like when we have a rush on gas, you know, the gas prices go through the roof because everybody hears gas prices are going up. So they run to the gas station to fill up, and then you have a shortage, which makes the price go up. So I'm not seeing anything. I mean, unless rates just drop back down to, I think, like 3.5, and everybody puts their house on the market, I don't see us having a market crash.
No. I think we saw the supply and demand thing too with COVID and toilet paper, didn't we? You know?
And it's so funny because the sale of bidets went up tremendously during COVID, and I was just like, yeah, not for me. Not for me. But one thing I did want to talk to you about, and mainly because I just listed a single wide on 1.4 acres in Powell, Tennessee, which is only like 2.5 miles off the interstate at I-75 on Emory Road. You offer financing on single wides, which a lot of people may not know. They, you know, most of the time you just think if it's a single wide, you're doing some kind of in-house loan, or you're going to have to go through Clayton's financing. So tell us a little bit about your financing on single wides.
So we can do single wides. We can do them under FHA. That's probably our best option under FHA, which is a down payment of 3.5%. They do have to be on a permanent foundation. And they cannot have been moved from a previous location. So in other words, they went from either the dealership or the factory that it was made to the current location. As a matter of fact, I had a message from our other meeting coming here that he's asking some questions about that property. So we've got an interest in it already. So
good deal. And I had an agent that called me to ask me a couple of questions about the property earlier today that I listed. And I have it in agent remarks because everybody thinks you can't finance a single wide. So I have it in the private remarks that Kim at Union Home Mortgage offers financing, conventional FHA and VA, right?
Yes.
And so this agent called me and she said, you know, I have a lending background and an appraisal background. And I have always been told that FHA will not do single wides. And so I said, well, I too have a lending background. But I said, FHA nor VA have any kind of property guidelines regarding a single wide other than it's going to have to be on a permanent foundation and cannot have been moved. I said, but it's just like credit scores that people attach to FHA and VA. Most lenders have overlays for those programs that they say in order for us to make these types of loans, then it's going to have to be X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
The credit score is going to have to be 600, and we're only going to do single family residences or double wide manufactured.
Correct.
So, you know, those two loan programs that are offered through the government have no true credit score overlays or product overlays as far as the property type goes. But different lenders will put different things on there. So Union Home Mortgage is one of the few companies that will finance a single wide through FHA or VA. So that's good information. But like we said, it does have to be on a permanent foundation. and it cannot have been moved. So, like, you can't buy it from a trailer park and put it on your land and try to go FHA financing. It has to have been there from the time it was a brand new home.
Correct.
All right.
You got it.
What are the rate adjustments on those? Like, what are you looking at for a rate?
Well, it's actually the rate adjustment for a single wide is the same as a double wide, so
Okay.
there's no additional there. You're usually looking about 0.5% higher than what the market rate is, based on the credit scores and all that. It's going to be a little bit more for double wides or single wides.
But I'm sure it's still going to be a lot cheaper if you go through someone like Kim
Yes.
than if you're trying to finance a new one through a dealership. Because I think the interest rates through those are what, 9-10% now?
They were 8 and 9% when we were 4 and 5%. So I'm sure they're probably 10 or pushing it, I would think, now. So.
Okay. All right, good deal. So that's all we have for you guys this week. We will be back next week with another local business. If you have a local business and you would like to have it promoted on our show, please send me a DM or leave a comment below and we will reach out and get you scheduled. Otherwise, come back next week to watch us. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.